Folks, this is Anupam back again. Today we are going to talk about something interesting. This is, I guess, a very common request. A lot of users, they have tons of data sitting in their SAP tables, and they would want to access it on the cloud. Now, typically, we would always recommend getting the semantic data from SAP, but there are use cases where you would need complete dump, and if it is a large table, there are some specific steps which we recommend. Those should be followed. I have put in a document earlier, and we'll follow this. Today, what we're going to do is to look at 10 million plus records in a table. What are we going to do? And then I'll also follow up with a demo of how we can do 100 million plus records in the table. All right, let's get going. So for today's purposes, we have picked up this booking table and use this to do a time series delta. So if I look at this table right now, it has 15 million plus entries sitting there. And what we're going to do is do time series on it. So, first we'll do a full extraction, and then we'll get on to, insert a few records and then do a delta. And what we'll do is extract it from using Fabric, but I'll also show that if you don't have Fabric, you can still go ahead and do these extractions. All right, so this is time series based. We are using the date and time fields, and this is a configurable parameter to get this. Now, what we recommend in this case is to have, when you're doing a large table, millions of records, which you want to extract, we typically would go ahead and recommend that you do this one time using an event as a background job, especially when it's not during business hours, and extract it and then put it on cloud, and then your regular delta extracts that can go on as and when needed. So let's take this. We'll use this. If you see, this is the event which we are using, and let's release. So this event is sitting there to be released. Now this can be triggered within SAP, or I'm going to do this through Fabric. So here's my full delta configuration from Fabric data flow. Essentially, this is copy data routine, doing a post to SAP. And here, there's something interesting. Since we want this to be event based, we're triggering an event. Here's the name of the event, which should match what we have configured with this job here. And then we are telling it that this is the field we want delta on, and this is where we are putting AL11 directory or NFS share, where the data for the full dump will go. And so let's go ahead and run this. Once it goes on, triggers, it basically, all it is doing is triggering this job on SAP. You see now it is active. Let me walk you through the parameters on the SAP side. So there's a background job scheduled, and here it is scheduled with table, the table name, we are putting the destination for now as this directory, and creation date and time are the delta fields which we are going to use. So this, for the first time, it takes some time to run for the full delta. There's 15 million plus entries to go over, and while this runs, let me walk you through how the delta is configured. So there's a separate piece of configuration code in Fabric which we provide for the delta run with the table. Essentially, it's very similar. We are giving the delimiter, object type is T, and object ID is the table name. So remember, this is the table which we were working with. So the same table, we are going to say we need to get the delta from this table, right? And then creation date and time, because this is time series, so we are going to track with that. Right? It's a technical parameter for giving. And here's the configuration for data destination. So we are setting it up to go to Azure Blob data. I think I've shown this earlier, how to set up SAP so that it can communicate securely with Azure. We are using SAS key as authentication, and this would be your SAS key parameter. And then here's the folder name. So, within Azure, you might want to configure different folders for different runs. So whatever we have configured here, SAP data extract 2021 PBIDF, that's where we'll expect this to come. All right, let's see how we are doing. So this is going to take some time, and those millions of entries which are being created. And I'll take a pause. All right, so I think the job would have finished. So here's the latest job which got finished. 489, and if I look at this, the job log, it has all of these files created in the NFS folder, and they will be pulled using a script to Azure or the configured destination. We want to take a look at any of this files. So this is a work directory, and let's open one of the output files. So this is how the output file would look like now. So yeah, now we have extracted the full table, which is always an interesting exercise. But now let's see the exciting part, the delta. How do we do the delta? So for that, it needs we need to create a few records. I'm going to manually go ahead and create. If you remember this table, it has 15 million odd records. So I'll just use the S11 table create and connection ID 31 January. Let's do 707 customer ID Let's put this on my name and we'll create a record. So this is important. This is what gets tracked with creation date and time. This is what it is doing. Going to extract. So when I run my delta now, it should go and extract based on this date timestamp. So I'm going to delta. This is the delta run. I think I have talked a bit about it. Delimiter, this is a table being extracted, table name. This is the time, date and time for the time series delta. We are putting it on Azure on this blob and using SAS key and putting on this folder, SAP data extract 2021 PBIPF. If you see, this is the folder where we are going to extract. All right. So now we are going to run delta for that one record. This is queued. So usually the delta run is pretty quick and it says succeeded. If I go out, refresh this, this is the new record that has been created at 10:02, and if I see the entry, so it has always the header is the field names and it has me traveling, so it has gone ahead and created delta. Some of the times we also want to quickly check if I can use this information on a real-time basis. So let's go ahead and do a delta on a real time and do a request response. So I'll create one more entry. Eight. Use real time. So it has now created a real time record. I'm just showing this to see if what is the response like if I do a delta from using the REST API in a real-time mode. So same parameters, and I'm showing this so that you can use this in your app or any of the workflows which you're using. So I'm asking to do a delta run in real-time mode based on this date and time, and asking it to return in real time. So when I do this send, it has responded and it has brought in real time this data in about 148 milliseconds, which is not too bad considering the volumes which we have sitting on that table, 15 million on entries. All right, so what did we do today? We did a full extraction. We did a delta extraction from that table of 15 million plus records. And thirdly, we looked at, a response time of real-time access from that table with millions of records to an app. So I hope you find this useful. The next one which I'm going to do is going to be slightly larger size, there's some more parameters which we have to take care of. All right, cool. Thank you.